Find a comfortable seat. Rest your hands on your legs or on your lap. Allow your spine to become nice and long. Imagine growing up from your crown to the ceiling, but also feel your sit bones rooting down towards the earth, allowing your lower body to become a little bit more heavy. If you want to close your eyes, you can. And then just become aware of how you're sitting. Often when we've had a busy day or we have a busy life, most of us do, it's very easy to always be in the go mode. So you can feel that if you're sitting a little bit more forward leaning, see if you can lean your back a little bit back. So your weight is actually on your sit bones and even almost your tailbone down towards the floor. Like you're hanging back in time rather than facing forward and charging all the stuff that you have to do. That's great for your life, but for this class, it's nice to make it a little bit more hang backy. Bring your awareness to your breath and slowly start to deepen it a little bit more. And allow your belly to fully extend as much as possible for you on the inhale, like you're blowing up this big balloon inside your belly. And on the exhale, you let it empty out again. A few more like that. Maybe see if you can extend every breath a little bit more without making it forceful. So find your limits without going over them. And then check in with yourself. How are you feeling right now? You don't have to go into the stories of why you're feeling something or what it might be, but just feel. Is there any tingling or spots that want your attention? Remembering that for yin yoga, it's super important to listen to the cues that your body gives you and to learn to distinguish between actual sharp pain, which means you need to back off right away, and this stretching sensation that might feel a little bit uncomfortable or maybe a lot of uncomfortable, but is not the sharp pain that needs attention right away. And if you're ever unsure, if it feels very uncomfortable and you're thinking maybe it's pain, you can always come out. If as soon as you come out, the discomfort has disappeared, then you could have probably stayed a little bit longer. But if it feels good and if you feel it lingering a little bit more, then you made the right decision. And that way you learn for the next time. So feel free to be nice to yourself. A few more slow, deep breaths. And then bring your palms together in front of your heart. We always open class with one Om. Take a deep inhale. bow your head to your hands, setting the intention of listening and respecting your body. Listening to and respecting your body. Take an extra deep inhale. Open your mouth. Sigh it out. If you want, you can keep your eyes closed. Lengthen your spine, lift your head back up. Reach your arms out sideways and make yourself super long on the inhale. Take a moment there to breathe and stretch your sides. Maybe feeling a bit of cracking in the spine or in the armpits. That's all good. And then slowly bring your arms down. Roll your shoulders for a moment. We're going to start today with a pose that is usually done at the end, but it's actually really good to do when your body is still like cold, not warmed up. So I'm going to just move back to my mat. Bring your soles of your, moved a plant here. I still need to get used to it. Bring your soles of your feet together. Allow your knees to fall open. If your knees are still quite high or it hurts somewhere, you can always use pillows, or I like to use pillows from the sofa. They're a little bit more chunky, underneath your knees if you need them, or underneath your ankles if that feels uncomfortable. And then instead of going into the active way of this pose, start to pull your belly in and round your spine like you're already bored with this class. And then slowly bring your chin to your chest and let your head become heavy. So you're hanging forward. It doesn't matter how far down you get. See if you can relax everything on the way there. We'll stay here quite long, so make sure that in the beginning part of the pose, you are comfortable. It's okay to feel the hips and the spine, but don't make it super painful already, because then it will become unbearable pretty soon. Make sure you soften your shoulders. And if you want to give your neck a little bit more support, you can rest your forehead on a pillow, or even rest it in your hands with your elbows on a pillow if you need a little bit more height. Just making sure that the more sensitive places of your body are safe. After a little while, you'll start to feel more into the hips, into the spine. Use your breath and focus on finding more softness. So you can scan through your body with your mind. And if you find any places that feel stuck or stiff or maybe painful, like the good kind of painful, see if you can just use your breath to bring a little bit more softness there. Fully surrendering to the pose and whatever it might bring up for you. Make your breath nice and slow again and deep. And continuing to check in to release any tension that might arise in your back, in your shoulders, even in your face. Sometimes our jaw starts to clench. Let that go as well. And if you ever find yourself drifting away on a thought, as soon as you notice it, bring your focus back to your breath. It doesn't have to be your super sharp work mode focus, just the chill, laid back one. Where can you let go a little bit more? We're nearly there. See if you can keep the stillness in your body. And the slow, deep breaths. Slowly come back up with your torso first in your head. Allow your spine to become long slowly. And then bring your knees up, widen your feet apart a little bit more. Place your hands behind you. And just let your hips slowly reset from that pretty intense and long butterfly pose. You can make this as slow or as fluid as you want. If you lift your butt up a little bit more, you'll feel it more in the spine. So if you just felt that other pose more in the spine, it helps to lift up. If you felt it more in the hips, see if you can keep them down a little bit more. You might even feel that in your obliques, in your side core muscles. Connect to center. And then extend your legs out front and a little bit apart. So you're in a wide-legged forward fold. If you need to turn a little bit, that's okay. You don't have to face this way all the time. Make sure that your legs are okay. For some people, if you have hypermobility in the knees, it can help to put a little bend in the knees, especially because this pose can be a little bit intense. Then you can also use pillows underneath if you want to keep it chill. You can use pillows or whatever you need. Twist your torso towards your left leg. And then we're not going to lean forward. We're actually going to lean sideways. So your right shoulder leans towards your right knee. You can lean your elbow on your leg if that reaches here, or lean on your hand. If you want to go a little bit further, you can aim your elbow towards the inside of your leg. And that can also help. My knees want to buckle in a little bit, so my elbow helps to keep it open. And then you lean your head, the crown of your head towards your toes. If you want to intensify, you can bring the left arm over and reach it towards your right foot. This, for me, for yin, is way too much. So I like to keep the arm just hanging forward or backwards. This is more an active yoga pose for me. I cannot chill here. So you can adjust if you need to. We'll stay here a little bit shorter than the other pose, don't worry. Try and feel the twist in your spine. So your left shoulder almost leans back and you're opening your heart towards the ceiling slightly. while you feel the stretch on your whole left side body. Find a relaxation if you can in the neck as well. If you have a neck injury like me, it's okay to keep your neck strong, or even support your head again with an arm so that it doesn't feel too intense on those side neck muscles. Find the stillness in your body once you find a pose that works for you. And then find your deep breaths again. Checking in with the muscles. You might feel this in your right hamstring and butt cheek, or even the sit bone that you're sitting on. You can always bend your right knee a little bit if you need to lessen the intensity. Make all your muscles soft, but remember to keep holding on to that pose though. You're not just becoming a little beanbag that sinks down to the ground. Your left shoulder is pulling back slightly. And it might help you to focus on your left ribs and imagine breathing towards them a little bit more, because the right side of the body is becoming crunched, so there's less space to breathe. We're almost there. Remember to always bring your focus back to the moment wherever you drift to. All the relaxing noises from living in a town. I don't know if you can hear all the traffic coming by my door, but there we go. Use your arms. Slowly push yourself back up. This one can be, for me, it's quite painful, especially here near the hip. So take a moment to reset your spine and your obliques, your muscles. Maybe even if it feels nice, bend the knees a little bit and move the hips. Whew. All right. We'll do the other side. So again, making sure that your setup is good. If anything felt uncomfortable before, feel free to adjust it. Turn your torso towards your right leg. Lean your left shoulder towards your left leg. Maybe your elbow is on top of your leg. Maybe your elbow is on the floor. Maybe your right arm reaches over. You can always try it in the beginning so you know you're aiming towards the right way. Your right hand towards your left foot. But you can also keep it hanging down if it feels too intense. I like to hang it behind me so that you feel the twist a little bit more, the opening. And again, listen to your head and your neck. If you need to support, you can do that by using your arm or a pillow and an arm. Find your breath. Find the stillness in your body. After the first few breaths, you'll probably start to feel it on the right side of your body, maybe also on your left leg. That's all good as long as you respect those boundaries of your body. Breathing towards the right ribs a little bit more. Imagine them ballooning out with every inhale and softening back down with every exhale, along with any other tension that you might feel. Wherever your thoughts go, bring them back every time. Where can you let go a little bit more? Sometimes there is tension in the feet or in the jaw. Often there is tension in the shoulders, so keep melting them away from your ears. We're almost there. Use your arms, come back up to center. Whew. Allow your spine to reset. Bring your legs together. Whew. Give your body a little move until you feel comfortable. Come to hands and knees for a moment, just to help your body to reset. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Spread your fingers. And just move. You can do cat-cows if you want. Hollow the spine and round the spine. Or go in little circles, just so that you can readjust your spine and allow those side tendons on your hip and on your obliques, your abs, that's the word I've been looking for all class, your core muscles to move around. Go both directions if you're making circles. Just play around with it. It doesn't have to be super serious. You can do a little jiggle, wag your tail, I think it is in English. Kvispelen. Yes. Nice. And then come back to center. If you have knee issues, you can do the version that I'm going to show. If you like to go a little bit further, you can always do the full version. We're going to do pigeon. So if you're okay with a full pigeon, you can come there from hands and knees. I'm going to show you how to get into the light version from a seated position. So I'm going to show you from the side actually. Place the right leg in front. So if you're doing hands and knees, you can move your right leg forward. If you're doing the lighter version, you can do, this is called deer pose, creating 90-degree angles with everything, with your knees, with your feet. If you need a little pillow underneath your knee that's off the mat, you can do that. Just creating that front leg in a straight line in front of you and having the knee in front of your hip. So it's not too far open. If you're doing full pigeon, then you can have it a little bit more to the side so you're aiming for the center of your shin. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Remember to flex your foot if you can and push it down, push the knee down as much as possible, whether you're in pigeon or this one. And then just slowly start to lean forward until you start to feel it in your right butt cheek. You might already feel it in your left hip as well. That's okay. Maybe it's enough to stay here. Maybe you can bring your elbows down to the floor. Or even open the elbows wide and rest your forehead on the floor or on your hands. Finding stillness in that pose as good as you can. So if you need a little bit of adjusting first in your pigeon, you can use blocks underneath your butt. That can help. For those of you that want to transition to pigeon from deer, you can just move your back leg back a little bit more and shift the weight onto your front shin. Make yourself as comfortable as possible. Remember to listen to the cues. So if this feels horrible, make sure you come back a little bit more. And then rest your torso as much as possible. You can have your head facing down. Mine is going to be facing towards you so that I can see you still. Slow, deep breaths. Allowing the body to settle into that pose first. Relaxing the hip and the leg. Both of the legs, actually. Notice what happens after a few breaths. You will probably start to feel it a little bit more. If you're hyper flexible and you want a little bit more stretch on the right spot, you can pull your left leg slightly in towards your hip so that you feel it more in your right hip and your right butt cheek. That's only if you have that hypermobility. Otherwise, you can just relax and chill as much as possible, of course, in this pose. Slow breaths, allowing your body to become a little bit heavier with every exhale. While listening to your right knee, don't overdo it on that knee. Wherever your thoughts go, remember to come back to your breath. To the moment. Noticing where you feel this. Just to take another deep breath there. And exhale, let it go. Use your arms to push your torso back up. Come out any way you like. I like to go back through deer pose and then extend the legs forward. Take a moment to give that front knee a little bit of love. I like to do just stretching and bending because it's been like twisted and bent for so long. But you can also do windscreen wipers to help your hips. Ooh, pop those hips. Or just rubbing the knee or the leg, whatever feels nice. Even shaking can help. And now we'll do the other side. I'm gonna turn around so that I can keep looking at you. Whoops. So either find your deer pose with the left leg in front now, or go for your full pigeon. It's like I'm in a jungle right here. Plants in my face. Make sure if you are in deer pose that you have the 90-degree angles. If you're in pigeon, listen to that front knee. It's often good if you go to full pigeon to have the foot a little bit more towards your hip so that you're not forcing the knee too far. So don't make it too painful for yourself. Inhale, make your spine nice and long. Exhale, slowly start to bring the weight towards your shin, towards your knee. Feel what happens in your left butt cheek. Try and find a stretch there. Maybe bring your elbows to the floor. Bring your forehead onto your hands or to the floor. Depending on your flexibility today. No judgment towards yourself if you're not flat on the floor. That's okay. Just take a few breaths to become aware first. Feel the left butt cheek and the hip stretching. See if you can keep that, but relax everything else a little bit more. Shoulders are soft, face is relaxed. And only if you have that hypermobility and you don't feel much, you can softly pull your right leg in a little bit. That will immediately intensify the stretch on your left hip. Allow your breath to be super slow and deep. Where can you let go a little bit more? Maybe in your body, maybe in your breath or your mind. Almost there. Keep stillness as much as possible. especially around the point where you feel it the most. Maybe your left hip. See if you can relax around there even more. Take one more deep inhale towards that point. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Let everything melt away more and more. And then slowly come back up. Use your arms. Come onto your left butt cheek and loosen it up. However feels good to you. Maybe allow your hips to pop or shake out the front leg a few times. I like to rub it on the sides. That feels nice for the tendons in the knee. And then just extend your legs out towards one side and flop your, you can't see with the computer here. Hold on. Flop your feet in and out. Can be quite big, like your feet are now the windscreen wipers. Floppy, floppy, flop. Good. Last sitting posture. Allow your spine to become nice and straight first. So you're sitting on your sit bones. If you want to pull your toes a little bit towards you for a moment, you can. If you notice that you can lift your heels off the floor when you straighten your legs, it might be nice to bend your knees a little bit. Hypermobility in the knees. We don't want to stretch the tendons at the back of the knee. We want to stretch everything else. So it might help to bend the knees a little bit. Also, if your hamstrings are tight, you can bend them. Let your spine become round. Again, you're bored with me. You want to do something else. You want to cuddle your adorable cats that I see walking by. Almost everyone has a cat today. It's really nice. And then let your head become heavy. Let your arms rest on your legs. It can be your thighs or your lower legs, depending on your own flexibility today. Just finding a little bit of heaviness in the head. If this hurts your neck, feel free to, again, support your forehead with your hands or a pillow or a block underneath your forehead. Making sure that your legs are relaxed. Your shoulders are soft. Even your face surrenders towards the mat. If you're slightly starting to drool, that's okay. Just let everything chill out. Especially the shoulders. Take a little scan of your body. Where are you feeling this the most? Might be your back, might be your neck, or the back of your legs, your hamstrings. See if you can soften around there a little bit more. Shoulders, legs, face. Wherever your thoughts go, bring them back to your breath every time, while you try and keep your body as still as possible. Where can you soften your muscles more? As if you're slowly melting, like you're a cube of ice in the sunshine. You're slowly just caving in on yourself. Slowly bringing your torso back up first. Just taking a moment to let your spine get used to being straight again. Maybe rolling your shoulders a few times, bending your knees if they felt pretty intense. It's nice to windscreen wiper your knees a few times. And then come lie on your back. If you have not many clothes on like me, it's nice to put an extra layer on now. Or have your pillows and your blankets close. Once you're on your back, pull your knees into your chest. Just take a moment there to soften and sway from left to right. Massaging your low back and the attachment of your glutes by making circles with the knees. Open your right arm to the right. At shoulder height, bring your tippy toes to the floor for a moment, just to lift your hips up and move them to the right, and then let your knees fall to the left. So you're twisting your spine, and you're almost lying on the side of your left hip, no longer on your back. You can even feel this stretching those obliques that we stretched before in that side body stretch, and even your hip as well, depending on your day and your body. Soften as much as possible. If it feels good, you can look over your right hand, keeping that right shoulder on the floor. Allowing the body to become heavier. This is our last pose before the last pose. So make any pushing or active feeling settle. Allow it to become even softer. Wherever your thoughts go, feel your breath and use that as your reminder, as your anchor to keep you in the moment. Every exhale, a little bit more softness. Slowly bring your knees back to center. Bring your arm in. Place your hips to neutral. Just take a moment to sway your knees left or right, or make little circles, or just open and close can be nice as well. We're almost there. And then open your left arm to the left. Place your tippy toes on the floor. Move your hips a little bit to the left, and then twist to the right. Again, finding that twist in your spine and also the stretch in your left side body. If it feels okay, you can look over towards your left hand. Surrendering to the mat, as if you're just melting away into it. Left shoulder towards the floor. Allowing your breath to help settle your body even more. Every exhale brings more softness. Wherever your thoughts go, keep coming back to the breath, to the moment. And see if you can feel more softness in the points around where it feels uncomfortable. As if you're loosening the muscles around a point, like a little support system of softness and gentleness. Slowly come back to center. Make everything straight. So move your hips back to center. Move your arms in. If you want, you can pull your knees in one last time. And then extend your legs out. Find a position that feels comfortable for you. You can use a little pillow underneath your knees, or move onto a sofa or a bed if the floor is a little bit cold. You can grab blankets if you have them, or a little pillow underneath your head. We're gonna run a few minutes late because we started a few minutes late as well. I hope that's okay. Remember to pull your tailbone towards your heels slightly, and to pull your shoulders, your shoulder blades underneath you. Arms can be out sideways with the palms facing up, or if it feels better, you can place your hands on your belly. That works too. Bring your awareness to your feet. Check in with your toes, soften them. Allow your feet to become more relaxed and your ankles. And slowly start to bring your awareness up through the body, allowing your awareness to help melt the body more and to relax it more. Soften your calf muscles, relax your knee joints. Feel your upper legs become more heavy. And your hips as well. Relax your glutes. And just feel your whole lower body become more heavy, slowly sinking into the mat. Bring your awareness to your hands and your fingers. Soften your fingers, your hands, your palms. And your wrists as well. Relax your forearms. Soften your elbow joints. And your upper arms. Just letting your whole extremities become more heavy. Je ledematen helemaal ontspannen. Relax your shoulders. Your chest. Relax your neck, your throat. Try and pull your tongue back a little bit so you can make yourself yawn. So you're really relaxing in the jaw and the throat. And then feel your face muscles, all the little muscles around your eyes, your mouth, your forehead. Let everything become a little bit more soft. We're so used to always having an expression. This is the moment where you don't have to keep your face a certain way. Just let it melt. Let it become neutral. Feel your belly rising and falling. Every exhale brings even more softness. Just settling into your body in this moment. Make your next breath a little bit deeper, a little bit more active. Start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. When it feels right, stretch yourself out, make yourself really long. Take a deep inhale here. And then slowly, one by one, bring your knees into your chest and roll onto your side into a fetus position. You can support your head with an arm. Stay there a little bit longer. If you can, with your eyes closed, use your arms, push yourself back up to a seated position. Again, remembering to hang back a little bit into it. There's no need to go straight back into your active mode. So leaning towards the sit bones. Just feel your breath for a moment. And then bring your hands together in front of your heart. We'll close off together with one Om. Take a deep inhale. Bow your head to your hands. An extra deep inhale. Sigh it out. When you're ready, slowly lift your head back up, blink your eyes open. Ooh, I didn't say namaste because Maggie was distracting me. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope it feels good in your body. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below in the chat or in the comments if you're watching this back.